بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كيف حالكم؟ أهلا بكم أحبائي، واليوم في محاضرة جديدة أو درس جديد يتعلق بدرس أو بمادة مهمة جدا جدا من نواحي الهندسية وبتطبيقاتها المختلفة الهائلة في الحياة العملية، ألا وهي مواد البوليمرية في الصناعة. المواد البوليمرية حصريا أو خصيصا في الصناعة. نتحدث اليوم عن المواد البوليمرية وكيفية الكيفية التي تتم بها المواد البوليمرية وتعريف المواد البوليمرية وأهميتها وتطبيقاتها في الصناعة، كأن تكون اقتصادية، كأن تكون طبية، أو كأن تكون حربية، أو كأن تكون ضوئية، أو في التطبيقات الحساسة كتطبيقات الضوء أو العدسات أو تطبيقات الأجهزة المختلفة التي تعمل، أو الأجهزة المؤتمتة، يعني إذا أردنا أن نكون محددين. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen, today? And once again here, once again in a very common lecture here, a very brand new lecture, the mostly associated, if I want to be specific again, if I want to be statistically specific here, the mostly related or mostly associated to the polymers, exclusively to be used in industry, only in industry and any applicable domain that are actually available. Such as the polymer is very important of big or maximum essentiality to be mentioned here in these circumstances, or even in the lecture we're about to represent here, or we about to visualize, that mainly and exclusively restricted to the applications and the utilizations of polymeric materials introduced to the industry, or introduced within or into the industry, as well as the applications fields or even the application domains worldwide, such as the optical domains, or in the optical applications, as well as the applications used in radioactivity, and the thermal applications, and the caustical applications, and automobile applications or automobile industry, as well as the aquatic applications, the aerosols, or even the aerospace, the aerospace applications, as well as the apparel applications in the manufacture of wares, or even the knitting or the sewing of wares and apparel, as well as this. So used in many of various applications that actually mainly or even introduced basically to satisfy the requirements of the daily life. Here, actually, as you can see right here in front of you, the polymers in industry. Introductions, just to figure it out, or even to identify, to visualize the importance of polymers, or even the domain at which the polymers is actually can be introduced, or even the polymers can actually be introduced, or be conserves, or even can deliver a mission, or perform the unoptimal, or can even perform an optimal function that actually required for a certain or even a particular application, as you can see right here for you. The introduction is actually mainly talking about, or even trying to visualize, the polymers and engineering and science. Here are the polymers, engineering and science. So the polymer engineering and science is considered of big or even of maximum strategical and technological importance, of essentiality. Thus, therefore, for their possibility to be used in a various or in diverse utilizations and fields. يعني علم هندسة البوليمرات ذات أهمية استراتيجية وتكنولوجية هائلة، وذلك لإمكانية استخدامها. Thus, because of their utilizability إمكانية استخدامها في مجالات واستخدامات متنوعة at diverse utilizations and fields, or diverse applications and fields. Good. They are exclusively, for example, are used in the nuclear reactors. They, for example, exclusively are used in the nuclear reactors as the reactor cables to tolerate a massive amounts of energy without, as you can see right here in front of you, in this period. In the warfare fields as a very Kevlar vast, or even a very Kevlar bulletproof arms, or even very Kevlar bulletproof jackets for men, or even for the military equipment, and optical sensors to measure the radioactive doses resulting from the various atomic activations or the various atomic activities. With the commencement of the century, or by the earliest century or the earliest 21st century, that the bond relationships or even the bond relevance between the nuclear radiations and the polymeric materials became a pillar or a very essential pillar, particularly in the fields associated to the aerospace researches as well as the satellite industry or the satellite manufacturing. The orbital stations, beside their usage in the medical field, or besides their medical usage as surgical strings or as surgical cords, and the compensative devices for men, and also a further pharmaceutical utilizations or even a further pharmaceutical applications. Besides, there can be used at the industry or even in the industry in the packing as well as the covering for the food and nutritions, and the very essential or even very important purposes or even very important equipment and items for thermal insulations and aquatic insulations as well as the acoustic insulations. And vehicularly or even the automobile industry as well as the fire hoses, water transfer fire hoses or the water pipelines, as well as in the fuel and the extinguishers industry, as well as the cords and parachutes and the cams, apparel cams or even the wear cams, as well as you can see right here for you. Manufacturing the fire water pipes, cords, umbrellas on the parachutes, as well as the apparel, and we're just gonna have to move on right to the article 11.1. As you can see here, most important plastics are available. The most important plastics are available, or the highlights of the plastics are available. Natural elastomer. The materials are used very geriatrically, or even the materials are used. The materials are already been used very anciently, as beginning at the 1838 AD, when a size of all elastomers are, or the natural elastomers are used in manufacturing the multiple slices or multi-use slices, and this is done by this is done just before the scientist George Deere to discover the. It was just done just before the science, or just before the polymer material or the polymer material Joder to discover that defalcanization, or discovered the falcanization of elastomer at 1839. And after the discovery of falcanations here, with 10 years or with a decade or post to that, in a decade post the falcanization discovery, the new multi-industry items or multi-industry the industry's visualization became to come to surface and even diffuse or propagate, very much dependent on the utilizations of the falcanized elastomer, as well as the formation of the point or the hard elastomers at exactly 1851 AD. Cellulose nitrates. Here, the second of the polymers, the second type or the second sort or second image of the polymeric coexistence or the polymeric forms are the cellulose nitrates, or even the very earliest conceptual materials, or even the very earliest conceptual raw materials are used even progressively, are used as a polymers right before the discovery or even discovery of the multiple recurrentive mirrors or multiple recurrentive chain mirrors called as polymers. Here, exactly as the paragraph says, or as the paragraph stipulates, exactly at the 1838 AD, a way to sterilize the cellulose was discovered by using the nitric acids and the producing of the cellulose nitrate and produce, or even to outcome, or to produce the outcome of cellulose nitrate composites, or cellulose nitrate components. Exactly at 1870 AD, this compound was actually produced, were able to be produced by synthetically, or even manufactured or industrially, and post to that, a way to mix the cellulose nitrates were discovered with the discovery, followed by a discovery of a method, or even a synthesis method here, or a synthesis method to mixture the cellulose nitrates with a camphor compound to gain, to make the material, or even make the mass gains that known or denoted as a CO lead. Then afterwards, the cellulose nitrate polymers was discovered that the cellulose nitrate polymers can be used in multi other industries, or the multi other industry domains, such as the explosive domains, such as the prime cotton, or even the in the explosive industry. For size, the prime button here, and the silk, or even the synthetic silk, and the manufacturing of the safe glass, and in the manufacturing of the automobile dyes, or in the manufacturing, or even at the fabrications of the automobile paintings, as you can see right here for you. Article 3 of the manufacturing, or even these natural polymeric forms, actually pretty much associated to a very distinguished compound that actually called cellulose estate. يعني الفقرة الثالثة متعلقة بمركب مهم جدا طبيعي، مركب مهم جدا يدعى بأسيتات السليلوز، كما نترات السليلوز. في عام 1856 at the year 1856 AD ميلادية اكتشفت طريقة إنتاج السليلوز. A synthetic method of cellulose productions were discovered as a result of cellulose interactions with a mixture of the with a mixture of vinegar oil, or the concentrated vinegar oil, and the dehydrated vinegar oil. And the dehydrated vinegar oil, as you can see right here in front of you. بلا ماء حمض الخل, dehydrated vinegar oil. But this polymer actually hasn't been synthetically used till the 980. يعني البوليمر استخدم صناعي, the polymer is actually synthetically used at exactly the 1900, and even before, and even a priorly too, and even a priorly 1900 and priorly, يعني قبل 1900 في عام 1856 وحتى 1900 ظل نوع من البوليمر المدعى بأسيتات السيلوز ظل استخدامه واسعا منتشرا في العالم. Right after the special technology of its conversion to industrial fibers is discovered, يعني بعد أن اكتشفت التكنولوجيا الخاصة بتحويله إلى ألياف صناعية. The article 4 here is the deposit cellulose, or the precipitated cellulose. في عام 1859, in the year 1859 AD, a new brand method was discovered here to dissolve the cellulose within special or particular solvents. Consists of the ammoniac Cu salts, and it was very able to precipitate the dissolved cellulose, and getting a sort of the industrial silk known lately, or even known subsequently at that time, or even known priorly at that time as the copper cellulock, the copper ammonium cellulock. Ammonium هو النشادر هو الأمونيوم نفسها أو الأمونيا. As well as this technological strategy were developed exactly at 1891 to produce the viscous silk أو الحرير اللزج, the viscous silk, الحرير اللزج, حرير الفيسكوس, حرير اللزج. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As you can see right here in front of you at the article 5, the vinyl formaldehyde. The vinyl formaldehyde is very important organic polymeric material, very much organic polymeric materials, and hydrocarbon considered to be a compensative hydrocarbon, as well as being an polymeric material here, as you can see right here in front of you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So here, in the lecture, or in the complementary rule, or even the complementary segment for the lecture here, we're just gonna have to mention many of categorical classes, or even many of the categorical articles that actually pretty much associated to the polymeric materials, and the polymeric materials introduction to a variety or even for diverse applications and industry that are actually pretty much associated to the daily life requirements. The categorical classes, or the categorical classes, or in the categorical article, as you can see, as follows. The categories are as follows: the chemical compositions of polymers, التركيب الكيميائي للبوليمرات. The classifications of polymers, تصنيف البوليمرات. The classifications of polymers here, as you can see, can be divided or can be branched into a multiple or even a multi-phase divisions. Multi-phase divisions or even multi-phase classes comes as follows. يعني تصنيف البوليمرات ينقسم إلى أصناف متعددة أو فئات متعددة كالآتي. A1 here, based to the chemical compositions, in the chemical compositions. First, here as you can see, the organic polymeric materials or organic polymers. As you can see, the other or the further classes here, further divisions, as you can see right here, for the article 1 or the class 1, as you can see right here, listed as follows in 2 and 3, as you can see. يعني تنقسم المواد البوليمرية استنادا أو according to their chemical compositions. Here, the polymeric materials can be even branched into multiple classes or multi-phase classes, as you can see, multi-phases classes, as you can see right here in front of you, which are or listed as follows. يعني مدرجة أو موجودة كالتالي أو مدرجة كالتالي. أولا استنادا إلى تركيبها الكيميائي according to their chemical compositions. First, organic polymeric materials or organic polymers. Here, the both 2 and 3 are listed as follows, as you can see right in the article 1 of the chemical composition of polymers. يعني عضوية كذلك. B here, according to their chemical nature. يعني استنادا إلى الطبيعة الكيميائية لتواجد البوليمرات. الطبيعة الكيميائية للبوليمرات، مو لتواجد ولا حاجة والله. الطبيعة الكيميائية للبوليمرات. A, or even according to the chemical nature of polymers, the polymers can be divided into natural polymers and synthetic polymers. Synthetic يعني صناعية. Polymerات صناعية. G or 3, based or even according to the type of chain. Linear type of chain or linearized type of chain, the cross-linked type of chains, as well as the branched type of chain. يعني السلسلة الخطية والسلسلة المتفرعة البرانشد والسلسلة الكروس لينكد. الكروس لينكد هي متشابكة. 4D here based or even according to the chemical composition, as you can see right here in front of you. Homogeneous polymers and heterogeneous polymers. Homogeneous polymers and heterogeneous polymers, as you can see right here in front of you. So the polymerization series and the polymerization kinetics or even the polymerization mechanisms. The polymerization is actually denoting the preparation or the operations or even the tasks of molecular conversions with the high molecular weights of monomers into a really high molecular weights materials such as polymers. Most of the polymerization reactions are done or even included within a certain heat range. There are two actually basic mechanics or even two basic mechanisms of the polymerization reactions. The condensation polymerization as well as the addition polymerization. As you can see right here in front of you. يعني البوليمرات تتكون بعملية البلمرة. So the polymers are formed by using the copolymerizations or even the polymerization process. The polymerization process is actually states or stipulates the conversion of the molecular or certain molecular weight monomers right into a very high molecular weight polymers. يعني تحويل البوليمرات أو المونومرات ذات وزن جزيئي معين إلى بوليمرات ذات وزن جزيئي أعلى أو أكثر. وتنقسم البلمرة إلى جزئين: التكثيفية condensation polymerization و الإضافية أو الإضافة أو البلمرة بالإضافة the addition polymerization. The polymers here generally or typically prepared on the basis of the linear growth reactions are so denoted as the condensation or denoted as the condensation polymers because they are formed as a result for monomer condensifications or the simple monomer condensifications which with each other to form a very long polymeric chains. يعني البوليمر التي يتم تحضيرها البوليمرات التي يتم تحضيرها على according to the linear growth reactions التي يتم تحضيرها وفقا لتفاعلات النمو الخطي تدعى بوليمرات التكثيف. Just because they are configured as a result for monomer densifications or the simple monomer densifications with each other to form a very long polymeric chains. يعني تتجمع أو تتكون نتيجة تكثيف المونيمرات مع بعضها لتكوين سلاسل بوليمرية طويلة. البوليمرات كذلك يعني البوليمرات كل أنواع البوليمرات يتم تحضيرها على أساس أن التفاعلات يتم تحضيرها وفقا للتفاعلات ذات النمو الخطي ليس على أساس ولكن وفقا عشان خطي The condensation polymerizations بلمرة التكثيف good. The condensation polymerization and their reactions are distinguishedly characterized and are summarized as follows. يعني تتصف بلمرة التكثيف وتفاعلاتها بصفات مميزة أو تتميز بصفات مميزة يمكن تلخيصها كالتالي. يمكن نتكلم عنها. Can be visualized as follows. The densification polymerization or even the condensation polymerization and their its reactions are distinguishedly characterized and that can be visualized as follows. The preparations of the condensation polymers are actually prepared usually from monomers contains at least two functional groups or at most two functional groups or even more. يعني تحضر بوليمرات التكثيف عادة من مونومرات تحتوي على مجموعتين فعالتين أو أكثر. The two functional groups monomers are usually used to form a linear polymer. When several groups are used, a cross-linked polymer will be formed. And even when to use several groups, crossed polymers will be formed. يعني تستخدم المونومرات المحتوية على مجموعتين فعالتين يتكون بوليمر خطي. مجموعتين فعاليتين أي مونومر يوجد فيه مجموعة أو أي مونومر أي مجموعتين فعاليتين تحتوي على مونومرات تستخدم سيتكون بوليمر خطي. وأي مجموعة أو عدة مجامع فعالة تحتوي على مونومرات أكثر من الاثنان سيتكون بوليمر متشابك. بالبوليمر متشابك ذات قوة ذات صلادة أكثر. حشو قوي يعني يقول. 2. The densification or even the condensation polymers are characterized usually by bonding groups to bond the repeated units with each other, such as the group of ester in the polyesters. As you can see, where C is doubly bonded with oxygen and is unitary bonded with oxygen as well from the left side and as well as the upward. يعني هنا السي مرتبط بمجموعتين أو بآصلتين مع الأكسجين من القمة ومرتبط بآصلة مع الأكسجين في جهة اليسار. As well as the amide in the polyamides. Chemically sampled as follows. يعني رمزه الكيميائي هو NHCO. And this is the foundation attributes in characterizing the densificative or even characterizing the condensation polymers of the addition polymers. Here as you can see right here for you. يعني هي السمة الأساس لتمييز بوليمرات التكثيف عن بوليمرات الإضافة. إنه بوليمرات التكثيف تحتوي أو بوليمرات التكثيف تتواجد في مجاميع هائلة رابطة لربط الوحدات المتكررة مع بعضها. To bond or order to attach the repeated units with each other, such as the ester, as we already mentioned, or such as the ester, or as we have formerly mentioned, or as we previously stipulate, such as the ester are the polyesters with the C carbon atom here is actually dually bound with the oxygen upward, with the oxygen atom upward, and leftwards is actually unitarily bounded with oxygen atom, as you can see right here in front of you. And the amide as well as in the polyamides. chemical sample as follows: NHCO, and this is the main attributes or even foundation attributes in characterizing the densificative polymers or even the condensation polymers of the additional polymers. 3. Condensation reactions is combined usually by a small molecules of the secondary, as you can see right here. That's why the compositional unit of polymers will be very much fit in with an atom or even a group of atoms of the compositional formula of monomers used to prepare the polymers by using the densification polymers. 4, as you can see right here, the condensation polymerizations reactions are occurs between any of the functional groups in the mixture of polymerizations. So the monomer will vanish since the early stages of polymerizations will vanish since the second stage, or since the second phase of the polymerization, not the will be vanished since the second stage or the second phase of the polymerizations. Well, 2 molecules of the monomers will be formed to configure the dimer, or even 3 molecules to configure the trimer. 3 molecules will come together, or even will come close together, or even 3 molecules or 2 molecules to form the dimer will be configured to form the dimer, and 3 molecules will be configured to form the trimer. 3 molecules, and accordingly, the monomers will interact, or even react with each other to reach the required molecular weight, or till reaching the required molecular weight. That's why the monomer will be vanished since phase 2. So the monomer ratio will not be overcoming, or even will not be exceeding 1% exactly at the within the stoichiometry, or within the reaction mixture. Stoichiometry أي مجاميع المتفاعلة. That's why the monomer will vanish since phase 2, and will be in a percentage that actually does not. That it will be in the proportion, or even it will be in a percentage exceeding. Will be in a proportion, or even it will be in a percentage. We'll have a percentage here. We'll have a percentage at the reaction mixture, as you can see right here for you. The reaction can be expressed as follows. The condensation polymerizations comes or reacts, or even mechanized as follows. Initiation: M plus M, 2 monomers, result into M2 dimer. M2 plus M, M2, which is dimer here. Dimer consists of 2 monomers already been stoichiometrized, or even already been react with each other. يعني مونيمرات اتحدت مع بعضها، او المواد المتفاعله. ستوكيومتري اي المواد المتفاعله، كما نعرف انه ستوكيومتري. Here I should dimer here because it's, or even will be reacting as a product of reaction, or as a reaction product, or reacting product, plus a monomer here, plus a monomer to form a closed-link chain, a whole closed-link real long chain of polymers here, results in a trimer. as you can see right here for you. A trimer أو مقابل ثلاثي. هنا مقابل ثنائي. trimer هو المقابل الثنائي. سينتج من اتحاد دايمر مقابل ثنائي مع مونومر. أو مقابل. هنا المقابل الثنائي مع مقابل ثنائي سينتج مقابل رباعي. تترامير. Here the dimer as you can see right here for you will be stoichiomerized, or even will be reacting with a second, or even with a further dimer, which is a monomer consists of 2 monomers, or even a composition, or even with an element, or even a product of reactions here consists of 2 monomers, will be reacting with each other, yielding the tri, or the tetramer أو مقابل رباعي. Here the the trimer with the dimer will be consist, or even will be productly reacted with each other as stoichiometry. Here they will react with each other as follows, as you can see right here in front of you, yielding or even resulting in the formation of the pentamer أو مقابل خماسي كما ترون. كذلك المقابل الثلاثي مع مقابل ثلاثي سينتج مقابل سداسي. As well as here the trimer with the trimer here, trimer will be reacted to each other as a stoichiometry. Here will result in the M6, or even the hexamer, as well as the heptamer and the octamer and the nunamer and the decamer. Nunamer here is the المقابل التساعي. والديكامير المقابل العشاري. المقابل العشاري ينتج من اتحاد أو من تفاعل مقابلين خماسيين. The decamer is actually very much resulted from the reaction or between the interaction between two pentamers, or both coupled pentamers coupled as follows in the stoichiometry position, exactly as the stoichiometry is supposed to be. stoichiometry هي المواد المتفاعلة، حيث يجب أن يفترض أن تكون المواد المتفاعلة يتفاعلون مع بعضهم، أي المقابل الخماسي مع مقابل خماسي, where they interact with each other, where the stoichiometry is supposed to be right in the positions or right in the place where the stoichiometry or even the reactants or even the reaction products are used to be or even supposed to be, will interact with each other, producing or resulting in the formations of a decamer. decamer إلى هو المقابل العشاري. God. That means it's Ag, any two molecules, any two functional group carrier molecules can interact with each other, as well as, and this makes the mobility of the polymerization of the condensation polymerization reactions studying is really, as you can see right here for you. The polyesters require a very huge amount, or a very big, or even a maximum deal of clarification or a maximum deal of disambiguations as follows. يعني كذلك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. البوليستر تحتاج إلى أو بوليستر تتطلب مراجعة مهمة. The polyester requires a very concentrated or even a very disambiguative review. يعني تتطلب مراجعة توضيحية. وجد بأن جلايكول الإيثيلين بتفاعله مع حامض الترفثاليك it has been found that the glycol ethylene or ethylene glycol, by reacting with the terephthalic acid, will form a very optimal polymer here to form strong fibers, or even to form fibers of strength with special characteristics or even excellent features. Are produced since the 40s and were introduced to utilizations by a very different commercial names or very different trade nomenclatures, such as the polyesters and toluene and dacron. يعني وجد بأن جلايكول إثيلين بوليستر بالنسبة للبوليستر جلايكول إثيلين مع حامض الترفثاليك يكون بوليمر صالح لتكوين ألياف قوية will form a very optimal polymer to configure or even to form to produce a very fibers of strength with special or excellent characteristics. يعني ألياف قوية ذات صفات ممتازة، ألياف جيدة أو صلدة ذات صفات ممتازة أو مواصفات ممتازة with very excellent specs. بدأ إنتاجها منذ الأربعينيات initiate production since 40s ودخلت الاستعمال بأسماء تجارية مختلفة and were introduced to utilizations by a different commercial names or even by a different trademarks such as polyester and toluene and dacron. The first step of the reaction is between the tetraphthalate dimethyl and ethylene glycols includes the reaction of ester to form terephthalate only parahydroxyethyl with the loss of two molecules of the M-methyl alcohol. as you can see right here for you. So الخطوة الأولى التفاعل هي بين تريفثاليت الدايميثيل أو تريفثاليت ثنائي ميثيل وجلايكول الإيثيلين تتضمن تفاعل الإستر لتكوين تريفثاليت فقط باراهيدروكسي أثيل مع فقدان جزيئتين من الكحول الميثيلي with losing two molecules or with acquiring two molecules of the methylic alcohol. CH3COOH خماسي الحلقية 1 2 3 4 5 سداسي الحلقة hexannually or hexannular like hexannular benzene acid or even hexannular benzene compound meta converted COOCH3 plus 2HCOH2 CH2OH. Here the parahydroxyethyl. This is the parahydroxyethyl. Will result in these are this as you can see right here for you, resulting in the reversible reaction or irreversible reactions towards the products or towards the reaction products as follows: HOCH2 bonded to CH2OOC hexagon annually COOH, COOCH2CH2 bonded to OH plus 2CH3OH, 2CH3OH, which is the vinegar acid, as you can see right here in front of you. The stoichiometry are listed as follows, or the stoichiometry are even visualized as follows, as you can see right here in front of you, as well as the productive reactions are visualized as follows. Stoichiometry has a very hexagonal ring, very hexagonal benzene ring. Here placed right into place at the stoichiometry is supposed to be, as well as the hexagonal benzene ring presented here at the product's spot, or at the product's location. هنا توجد حلقة سداسية كما ترون في المتفاعلات من المواد المتفاعلة. قلنا الستوكيومتري هي المواد المتفاعلة، والبرودكت هي المواد البرودكت هي المواد الناتجة. رياكتنتس المواد المتفاعلة أو الستوكيومتري أفضل، والبرودكت هي المواد الناتجة من التفاعل. Products are the materials resulting from reactions, or the materials are resulting from stoichiometrization أو resultant of the stoichiometry. يعني البرودكتس أو النواتج هي ناتج التفاعل بين المواد المتفاعلة. Resultant of stoichiometry. The polymerization of the intermediate products here is done by by using catalysts, or by using as you can see right here, auxiliary agents or catalyst. By using catalysts to form a very molecular weight polymer here, accompanied by using the ethylene glycol as a collateral reactants. The stages follow is actually the phase is followed by the completions of the polymerization operations, or the polymerization process for the previous products, or even the previous resultants, by elevating the temperature to 275 centigrade with a very pressure. The distribution is actually where the molecular weight will be increasing gradually, and the polymerization will be continued in the circumstances till the viscosity, until comes a point here for the viscosity of the molten reaching the optimal limit. Then the reaction will be ceased, and the molten the whole molten would be going to be converted, or the whole molten will be converted into a plastic granules, followed by a manufacturing, or even followed by a manufacturing process to convert them into fibers. حتى تصل الزوجة إلى المنصهر. لزوجة المنصهر, to the viscosity of the molten will reach the optimal level. Then reaction will be continued, and the molten will be continued, يعني يستمر وليس ولا يتوقف. And the entire molten will be converted, or the entire molten will turn to a plastic grains, followed by a manufacturing processes, or even subsequent industrial processes in order to convert them, or even in order to turn them to fibers. يعني fibrous texture, in order to convert them into a fibrous texture. يعني تحول المنصهر إلى حبيبات بلاستيكية بعد استمرار التفاعل. تجري بعدها عمليات تصنيعية تحوله إلى نسيج ليفي، أو تحوله إلى ألياف, to convert them into a fibrous texture, or even to convert the molten to convert the molten into a fiber texture, إلى ألياف أو إلى نسيج ليفي. Polyamides, polycarbonates, nylon 6, or the phenol resins, and also the epoxides. The epoxy resins will be prepared, or is prepared by the reaction the L-bisphenol A, as well as the chlorohydrin AB, by presence, or by even the presence of sodium hydroxide in the temperature of 50 centigrade till 110 centigrade. The molecular weights of the trademarked products are ranging between 300 to 4,000. يعني البولياميد أميدات والبولياميدز والبوليكربونات and polycarbonate نايلون 6 النايلون 6 النايلون من البلمرة أو درجة البلمرة السادسة أفضل أنواع النايلون or the best type that ever been manufactured. the ratinjet الفينول the phenol resins الإيبوكسيدات the epoxides as well as epoxides can be represented or even can be visualized in a very important or even very essential example or example of essentiality such as the epoxy resins. The epoxy resins or ratingel epoxy يحضر من تفاعل البسفينول A just only prepared by the reaction of the phenol A and the chlorohydrin EB by the presence of the sodium hydroxide in temperatures ranging between 50 centigrade till 110 centigrade. يعني يحضر من وجود الفينيل A مركب والاي بي كلوروهيدرين مركب بوجود هيدروكسيد الصوديوم كعامل مساعد ككاتاليست the presence of the sodium hydroxide as a catalyst او ماده محفزه في درجات حراره 50 سنتيغراد الى 110 سنتيغراد 50 درجه مئويه 110 درجه مئويه. تتراوح الاوزان الجزيئيه the molecular weight of the trademark products are ranging between 300 to 4000 يعني تتراوح الاوزان الجزيئيه للمنتجات التجاريه بين 300 و 4000 كما ترون امامكم. The addition polymerizations. The article 2 of the polymerization strategies of the polymerization mechanism to reach the optimal compounds that we actually require for certain applications. يعني البلمرة الإضافة هي البلمرة أو الطريقة الثانية من عمليات البلمرة للوصول إلى النواتج التي التي أو المتفاعلات التي يمكن استخدامها في أمور يمكن استخدامها في تطبيقات معينة. كما يمكن استخدامها بالتطبيقات المتقدمة جدا. The addition polymerizations are meant to be the polymers that can be prepared for a monomers contains a double bonds or even a ring compounds, which are mainly or basically polymerized according to stoichiometry mechanisms of the chain growth reaction, and includes three basic steps, or even not includes three basic phases. يعني تتضمن ثلاثة مراحل أساسية، ليس خطوات ولا مراحل. حاجة خطوات والله العظيم، حاجة steps والله العظيم. The initiation phase includes reaction or even, as you can see right here for you, the propagation or even the production, the reproduction or the propagation، تفاعلات التكاثر أو النمو أو الانتشار. يتضمن سلسلة من التفاعلات المتكررة includes a series of the repeated or even states or stipulates a series of the repeated reactions or stipulates a series of the recurrent reactions. يعني أو ينص على وجود سلسلة من التفاعلات المتكررة. ينص وليس يتضمن. Stipulates a series or a chain of the recurrent reactions. Recurrent أي المتكررة. تفاعل الانتهاء the termination reactions. As you can see right here for you. Well, a comparison between the addition polymerizations and the condensation polymerizations. A. The polymers are prepared from monomers containing double agents or even from regular monomers. But whereas the densification polymers are prepared usually by using a monomers has two functional by using a monomers or by using two functional groups that contain monomer at most or at max. يعني من الفروق الجوهرية هنا بين بلمرة الإضافة والبلمرة التكثيفية إنه البوليمرات في بلمرة الإضافة تحضر من مونومرات حاوية على أواصر مزدوجة أو مونومرات في أواصر مزدوجة. تحضر بوليمرات من مونومرات في أواصر مزدوجة. The polymers are manufactured or even prepared by using a double bonds monomers or even by using a regular monomers or ring monomers. يعني تحضر من إما أواصر مزدوجة مونومرات في أواصر مزدوجة أو مونومرات حلقية كما هو المثال في هيدروكسي الصوديوم أو باستخدام المثال الذي يتضمن استخدام هيدروكسيد الصوديوم كعامل مساعد. As well as the example stipulates of using the sodium hydroxide as a catalyst. sodium hydroxide that actually stipulate, or even the example that actually already been through, or already stipulate, or even already stated about, that actually, or even already visualize, stipulate, or even states the usage of the sodium hydroxide as a catalyst for the production of a certain addition polymerization product, or particular addition polymerization product. Whereas يعني أما the densification polymerizations or even the condensation polymers are prepared usually by a two functional group monomers at most. يعني تحضر من مجموعات فعالة، مجاميع فعالة. Two or B. The addition polymerization reaction does not include the formations of any, but only irreversible reactions, and does not contain, or even do not contains, a bonding, as you can see right here in front of you. 3 or C. One structural unit will be added for each chain reactions of the growing chain at the addition polymerizations. يعني تضاف وحدة بنائية واحدة, single structural unit will be added for each chain reactions of the growing chain of the addition polymerization, or of the addition polymerization growing chain. يعني تضاف وحدة بنائية واحدة لكل تفاعل متسلسل للسلسلة النامية في بلمرة الإضافة. 4. The monomer's concentration will be escalated gradually with reaction progress, or the chain reaction progress, whereas the monomer will be vanished from the mixture, as you can see right here, at the stages, or even at the phases, right within the phases of the densification or even the condensation reaction, as you can see right here in front of you. 5. The high molecular weight polymer will be formed since the earliest stages, or even since the early phases of the polymerizations in the chain reactions, where the molecular weight will be increased with the progress of the reactions, and the molecular weight would not, the high molecular weight will be formed at the latest, or even at the latest phases of the densification, or even from the condensation polymerizations. يعني هنا نقطة يجب التركيز عليها. البوليمر ذو الوزن الجزيئي العالي يتكون من المراحل الأولى من البلمرة في التفاعل المتسلسل، بينما الوزن الجزيئي بينما يزداد الوزن الجزيئي بازدياد زمن التفاعل. هنا في التفاعل المتسلسل في بلمرة الإضافة. أما في بلمرة التكثيف سوف يتكون, here is the chain reaction, or even at the chain reaction of the addition polymerization. Whereas by using the polymerization technique of densification, or the polymerization technique of condensations, the molecular weight only will be formed, or only will be increased by the progress of the reactions, as well as the high molecular weight, or even the tremendous molecular weight will be formed lately, or at right in the latest phases of the condensation polymerization. يعني سيتكون الوزن الجزيئي العالي، الجزء الجزيئي الهائل في المراحل الأخيرة من بلمرة التكثيف، في المراحل الأخيرة من بلمرة التكثيف، أو الطريقة التكثيفية للبلمرة البوليمرات أو بلمرة المونومرات. The initiation phase، مرحلة البدء، تتضمن تفاعلا واحدا باستخدام البادئات، includes or even stating one reaction or single reaction by using initiators، البادئات المستهلات أو inceptors، initiators or inceptors، المستهلات inceptors، initiators البادئات أو المحفزات، وهي عبارة عن مركبات كيميائية قادرة، and they are mainly and basically in the form of chemical compounds capable of forming free radicals, can initiate a chain reactions in order to form whole new chains. The free radicals may form due to the degeneracy of the initiator, either by heat effect, or even by light effect, or by optical effects, or by oxidation and reduction reactions. يعني تتضمن تفاعلا باستخدام البادئات المستهلات initiators، وهي عبارة عن مركبات كيميائية. هنا تعريف الانيشيترز عبارة عن مركبات كيميائية قادرة على تكوين جذور حرة free radicals بإمكانها أن تبدأ تفاعلات متسلسلة that can incept or even that can initiate chain reactions in order to form a whole new chains. بغية تكوين سلاسل جديدة، فقد تتكون الجذور الحرة free radicals. Here is the big, or even here is the point of maximum essentiality. يعني هنا نقطة مهمة جدا لتذكر. Here is a point actually of maximum essentiality, good to mention, or even fine for us to mention. Here, the free radicals may be formed due to the degeneracy تفكك, degeneracy of the initiator, either by heat integration, or either by heat effect or light effect, or by the reactions of oxidations and reduction. Good. The thermal initiators are chemical compounds, will be degenerate by heat, forming a free radicals such as pure oxides, forming a very great, even will be oscillated, or even will be configured by using heat, forming a free radicals such as pure oxides, and the velocity of the initiator degenerates will be according to the velocities of the initiator degenerates, or the initiator oscillation, or the initiator configurations, and the thermal degrees appropriate for its configurations. The efficiency of the initiators, which determines the ratio, or even determines the percentage of the free radicals used actually at the polymerization reactions. 2. The oxidation and reactions terminate or initiators. It can serve, or even can generate. They can generate the free radicals by the reactions of any oxidizing agent with any reducting agent, or any reductive agent in very temperatures, as you can see right here in front of you, by adding a metallic to the stoichiometry, by adding a metallic element, or even by adding a metallic element to the stoichiometry. يعني إضافة فلز إلى التفاعل, by adding a metallic element to the reaction, as you can see right here in front of you. ROOH is the acidic solution. ROOH is acidic solutions, plus a metal with a positive ion, or even metal acquiring electrons, as you can see right here in front of you. M denoting a metal or a metallic element, result in reverse reactions of RO bonded plus OH ion plus M plus N plus 1. N plus 1 are the degree of the ionization, or degree of the ionizations. Here, according to the ionizations at the stoichiometry. Here is very actually stoichiometry dependent ionizations for the degree of ionizations that actually already been introduced right to the stoichiometry. يعني هنا درجة الأيونية درجة الأيونية كما موضحة as clarified already here, the degree of ionizations as clarified right into the ionization, or clarified in comparison, or even clarified according to the degree of ionizations used at the stoichiometry. يعني موضح حسب درجة الأيونية المستخدمة للفلز، درجة الأيونية المستخدمة للفلز في المواد المتفاعلة. الاستوكيومتري قلنا المواد المتفاعلة. أي تفاعلات الازدواج doubling reactions. MX plus MY will be resulting into MX plus Y. So X plus Y are doubled with each other. M and Y doubled with each other, resulting in the MXY, a whole new compound series, a whole new compound resultant. B, the proportionality reactions, as you can see right here for you. Growing chains and annihilated chains. Growing chains, growing chains and chains. Growing chains and chains. Here it goes. MX plus MY will be resulting into MX plus MY, which very much actually indicates, or as you can see right here for the stoichiometry and the resultant products will pretty much indicate. يعني المواد المتفاعلة والمواد الناتجة تدل انه كلما تفاعلت مادة نتجت نفس المادة من التفاعل. نتجت نفس المادة من التفاعل. Here, as you can see in front of you, the stoichiometry is, or the stoichiometry are, يعني مواد متفاعلة هم MX plus MY. MX plus MY will be resulting to MX plus MY. It's the same stoichiometry reacted previously. يعني نفس المواد المتفاعلة لتكوين مواد ناتجة. المادة أو السلسلة الناتجة هي نفس السلسلة المتفاعلة. The resultant chain are as the same or is the same as or is as the same or is as the stoichiometric chain. The resultant chain is as the stoichiometric chain or is the same as the stoichiometric chain. يعني السلسلة الناتجة هي نفس السلسلة المتفاعلة. We can visualize the pre-mentioned operations or the pre-mentioned reactions by the following equations. I to R plus M is the metallic and R is the initiator, will be resulting to M1 is the initiations. And the propagations here is the multiplications or even the multiplicity of monomers, as you can see right here for you, to form a very high molecular weight polymers. يعني البروباجيشن أو النمو أو الانتشار، تفاعل الانتشار يتضمن إنتاج مونومرات جديدة جدا أو تعدد إنتاج البوليمرات من مونومرات كما ترون. M1 plus M equal to M2, M2 plus M equal to M3, and MX plus M equal to MX plus 1 exactly in the same instant. M1 plus M equal to M1, M1 plus M equal to M3, as you can see we're M4, and M3 plus M M2 plus M will be equaling to M4. M2 plus M will be equaling to M4. So 2 plus 1 equal to 4. MX plus M equal to MX plus 1. 1 is the most greatest. The termination is done by using two techniques, or even by using two sorts of reactions. Either the proportionality reactions or by doubling reactions, as you can see right in front of you. What? The ionic polymerization is the highlighted source of the addition polymerizations denoted as ions, because they denoted as ionic polymerization just because they are functional centers which channel the polymerization operation here for the polymerization reactions to be in the form of either negative ions or even positive ions. And if the functional center is actually in the form of the carbon atom, we release a carbonium ion when it's positively charged, and the carbonium will release the carbonium ion when it's negatively charged. The ionic polymerizations are considered very rapid, considered of the rapid reactions that are done or even conducted in a very temperatures, leads to a very extreme degree of polymerizations in a time, or A, as you can see right here for you. يعني بدرجة البرمرة أو بمراكز فعالة البرمرة الأيونية. البرمرة الأيونية يحصل فيها تحرر أيونات، فعند استخدام ذرة كربون مثلا تحرر الأيونات من ذرة الكربون أو أي ذرة لأي معدن، تتحرر أيونات مثل أيون الكربونيون عندما تكون شحنته موجبة، وأيون الكربونيون بالنون عندما تكون شحنته سالبة. تعتبر البرمجة الأيونية من التفاعلات السريعة. The ionic polymerization are considered very rapid reactions that are done or even conducted التي تتم or that are mainly carried out at very temperatures، يعني التي تتم في درجات حرارة وتؤدي إلى درجة بلمرة فائقة and result into a very superior degree of polymerizations, as you can see right here for you. كما ترون. There's actually a very, very important or even very essential comparison here between the positive ions polymerizations or with or via يعني مع or with the polymerization by negative ions. The negative ionic polymerizations and the positive ionic polymerizations. For the positive ionic polymerizations here, the positive ions will be a center for the chain growth. يعني الأيونات الموجبة ستكون مركز لنمو السلسلة كما ترون. Here, at the negative ionic polymerizations, the negative ions will be a center for chain growth. Used catalysts أو المحفزات المستخدمة الأملاح العضوية the organic salts such as BF3 فلوريد BF3 و SNSO4 BF3 SNSO4 كذلك الحوامض البروتينية الحوامض البروتينية البروتينيك acids the pronisted integrated right here for you H2SO4 الكبريتيك H3PO4 الفسفوريك where the as you can see right here in front of you the alkali bases or the alkylide bases القواعد القلوية such as the acrylic. الأكريليك هو مادة مهمة جدا جدا في هندسة المواد يجب التركيز عنها ومعرفة خواصها. The acrylic is very essential material to pay the entire attention for that we should pay entire attention right for exactly in the material engineering while studying the material engineering exclusively the polymeric materials. يعني حصريا بالمواد البوليمرية يجب التركيز عنها. 3. The negative polymerization does not include any termination. This will include the negative polymerizations will include termination. Where the central or even the effective center will remain active even after the monomer is consumed. حيث يبقى المركز الفعال نشطا حتى بعد نفاذ المونومر أو بعد استهلاك المونومر ليس نفاذ وإنما استهلاك. لا يمكن أن تقال بعد نفاذ البوليمر ولا حتى يمكن أن تقال بعد استهلاك المونومر. البوليمر السالبة تحتوي على عملية انتهاء وليس لا تتضمن. The negative polymerization actually includes a termination phase. يعني تحتوي عملية انتهاء حيث يبقى المركز الفعال نشطا حتى بعد نفاذ المونومر تحذف. لا يمكن التركيز على الآتي حتى يبقى المركز الفعال نشطا حتى بعد نفاذ المونومر لا يمكن التركيز عليها. حشو المونومر والله قاعد The ionic polymerizations is actually exclusively restricted to the solution polymerizations and the mass polymerizations. يعني البرمرة الأيونية تقتصر على البرمرة في المحاليل والبرمرة الكتلة. The propagation phase of the cationic polymerizations يعني مرحلة التكاثر أو مرحلة الانتشار في البرمرة الكاتيونية. بعد تكوين المركز الفعال الناني after formation of the growing effective center of the growing functional center as a result for adding a monomer molecule to the initiator in the initiation step or even in the initiation phase, the propagation will be started or propagation will be triggered, which consists of adding more of the monomer molecules to the growing center. بعد تكوين المركز الفعال النامي نتيجة إضافة جزيئة المونومر إلى البادئ أو إلى الانيشيتر. يعني ضفنا جزيئة مونومر إلى الانيشيتر زاد في مرحلة البدء يعني في البادئ في مرحلة البدء after we add a molecules or even after we add a monomer molecules to the initiator right in the initiation phase يعني في مرحلة البدء تبدأ مرحلة التكاثر ألا وهي propagation. The propagation will be modified or even the propagation will be started by adding more of the monomer molecules to the growing center بإضافة المزيد من جزيئات المونومر إلى المركز النامي. The joint polymerizations. The joint polymerizations can be defined as the polymers that contain more than 2 types of recurrence units in order to get a very optimal polymer that contains the characteristics or even that contains the features of both sorts, such as the elastomer of styrene butadiene, as well as there are many possibilities for the monomers to be existed. or many possibilities here for the both monomers to be existed. يعني الهدف على الحصول على بوليمر يتسم بصفات النوعين. يتسم بصفات النوعين كما ترون أمامكم. In order to get a polymer that actually mainly and basically characterized or possess the both sorts features, possess the features of the both sorts, such as the styrene elastomer and a butadiene elastomer. And as you can see right here for you, main reaction mechanisms or the main reaction multiplicity mechanism the main mechanism for multiplicity reactions by adding more monomers using the technique of the joint polymerization. يعني التفاعلات التي تتضمن إضافة المونومرات بطريقة التفاعلات البوليمرية المشتركة وزيادة أو تعددية المونومرز أو المتقابلات المستخدمة. مستقابلات هي أساس البوليمر، هو أساس البوليمر الكلي. The monomers are mainly the pillar of polymer. This is drafted by B atoms. The polymerization circumstances or the polymerization conditions includes, as you can see right here, the polymerization conditions as follows: emulsive polymerizations and the precipitative polymerizations, and the solution polymerizations, and the as you can see right here, at the mass polymerizations. The polymerization of the monomer will be carried out by adding the initiator in a very reactor with a temperature of 150 centigrade surrounding or the reactor is surrounded by a cooling system. يعني تجري بلمرة المونومر في بلمرة الكتلة مضاف إليه البادئ عشان بلمرة ترسيبية والله عشان precipitative والله God. The solution polymerization. The polymerization is carried out in a very appropriate solvent or even a very optimal solvent for each of the polymers and the monomer as well as the initiators. The polymerization is used in the solutions to produce these used polymers in the form or the produced polymers to be used in the form of the resins solutions and dyes or even the painting solutions. The suspension polymers. Using a suspensive molecule or even suspensive solutions such as water with acrylic acid in the preparations of the synthesization of the acrylic polymers. The suspensor will be extracted after centrifugally separated from the water. بعد فصله بالطرد المركزي. After centrifugally separated of the water. Or after centrifugally splitted of the water. بعد فصله بالطرد المركزي عن الماء. The emulsive or the emulsified polymerization. البرمرة المستحلبة. Emulsified or emulsive هي المستحلبة. يستخدم وسط مستحلب. Emulsive media will be used in the technique and the technique indicated too. As you can see right in front of you, as soup removers to the reactants with the aquatic solutions and the monomer together. The polymer entirely at the precipitative polymerization. The polymer will be entirely dissolved in the monomer, as well as the polymer will be entirely undissolved in the solvent used, or at the solvent used. So thus, or therefore, the polymer will be precipitated in case of its formations in the form of the small molecule, or in case of, or in the form of molecules still containing free radicals capable of reacting. أهم نوع هو الترسيبية، البوليمرات الترسيبية. Here is a very important or a very essential topic to refer to here, exactly at the polymerization or even at the polymer realm, at the polymer science. هنا موضوع جدا مهم يجب الإشارة إليه في موضوع أو even في علم البوليمرات، ألا وهو viscoelasticity، المرونة للزوجة، مادة مرنة ولزجة في نفس الوقت. A very viscous and elastic material at the same time. Imagine the material or imagine the way that any material could be viscous and elastic in the same time. This is a very optimal material to use in various or even in diverse applications worldwide. Glory to God, the Almighty, the glorified and exalted. At the time, we try to visualize the physical and mechanical features. For any polymer, we should know the mathematical or the arithmetic models used to calculate stress and strain, as well as the relaxation time. Everybody, the human beings that actually used to deal with polymers as a very hard materials, very hard, very loose materials, and as an optimal fluid at a time, which we will be led to a very hypothesis and very arithmetic models to figure out or even to resolve every relevances to the materials features, as you can see right here, or every relevances to the materials. حشو features والله elastic. بوليمر viscoelastic أو بوليمر لدن مرن ينقسم إلى قسمين، solid وفلويد، مائع وصلب. There are two main suggestions here to explain so. Is the suggestion or even the spring model or even the basin or the dashpot model. And the spring model here, or the spring suggestion, we're just going to use Hooke's law that states if any or in case of any stress applied to the spring will be directly proportioned with the strain, as you can see right here. Will be directionally or will be directly proportioned with the resultant strain. يعني مقترح النابض أو في مقترح كما ترون النابض ستار قانون هوك سيكون فعال. Here Hooke's law will be very functional. That states or even stipulate ينص على أن الإجهاد المسلط the applied stress على النابض or إجهاد المسلط في النابض the applied stress in the spring directly proportioned with the resultant strain، يعني يتناسب طرديا مع الانفعال الناجم. Sigma direct proportionality, direction or even direct proportionality sample، يعني علامة التناسب الطردي مع الأبسلون. الأبسلون هو الانفعال الناجم. Sigma equals to the constant of proportionality here, as you can see right here. The x is constant of the spring or the spring constant or the proportionality constant أو ثابت التناسب by the epsilon or productly multiplied by the epsilon، يعني مضروب نقطيا بالانفعال الابسلون. X is the spring constant. In the dashpot suggestion or even the basin suggestions, the law of viscosity can be derived as follows, or from the law of viscosity can be visualized as follows. For any perfect or even for any optimal fluid لمائع مثالي, viscosity will be equal to 1, as you can see right for you. Mu is the viscosity and F is the fluidity أو المائعية أو السيولة كما ترون أمامكم. Good. And according to the fluid flow, the molecules will be subjugated to the effect of the shear stress, where the materials of the high viscosity mass requires a shear stress or very extreme shear stress for every flowing unit, or for each flowing or each stream unit. الإجهاد القصري. X equal to Vt. V is the velocity, T is the time, and X is the constant. Nu equal to tau dV over dy. Poix here, dyne centimeter squared, or the poix here is the unit of dyne to dyne with or via centimeter squared per or centimeter squared by second. The tau and the tau. Tau as you can see as indicated here is the shear stress. tau هو الإجهاد القصري. Good. Tau is the shear stress, and dV over dy as follows, or as indicated here. The viscosity will be pretty much affected usually by temperature and will be exponentially escalated with the inverse T, or with the absolute inverse T, according to the Arrhenius relevance, or according to the Arrhenius relationship, as you can see right here for you. Nu equal to nu naught exponentials minus Q, as you can see right here for you, where R is the ideal gas constant for the ideal fluid flow. يعني بالغاز لجريان المائع، الغاز ثابت الغاز المستخدم أو الغاز المستخدم عشان ثابت الغاز المستخدم لجريان المائع. As you can see right here in front of you, the nu equals to nu naught exponential minus Q, or exponential negative Q. Q is the activation energy, and R is the ideal gas. Ideal gas is pretty much equal to 314 joule via or with mole per Kelvin. Kelvin is the absolute temperature, and the mole is the quantity of atoms and molecules for each unit, as you can see right here in front of you. N equal to nu naught exponential minus E, as you can see right here, exponential E to, as you can see right here, is Boltzmann equation. Boltzmann equation pretty much identical, or even pretty much, as you can see right here in front of you, pretty much compatible with the stipulated equations here for the stipulated equations as indicated here, representing the Arrhenius relevance, or even the Arrhenius relationship between the nu naught and the nu, or the primary viscosity, or the initial viscosity, n naught viscosity constant, and the nu, the ordinary viscosity for the fluid flow. N here, n and n naught. N naught is the ground state. N is the excited state. N here, as you can see, N here, N in the N naught. Here is N. Here is a nu. Nu is a Latin prefix. N is an English letter. يعني N هو حرف إنجليزي، بينما النيو هو بادئة لاتينية. N equals to excited state أو الحالة المهتاجة. Good. Maxwell model. نموذج Maxwell. Stress-strain equation. Here, the springs and the dashpot is actually attached respectively, or even parallelly connected, results in a stress-strain equation. Stress-strain equation here, for the spring as follows, or stipulated, or even as stated as follows. يعني معادلة النابض مربوطان على التوالي، النابض والحوض مربوطان على التوالي, are even connected to parallel, or even yields to a stress-strain equation. يعني تصبح معادلة الإجهاد الإنفعال كالتالي: سيجما 1 أو الإجهاد الأول للنابض أو الإجهاد للنابض يساوي the stress for the spring or the spring stress equals to x epsilon 1 for the, as you can see right here, for the spring. For the fluid, the shear stress, or even the stress sigma, not the tau. Here, as you can see right here, the sigma, the regular stress, or the nominal stress. And the stress 2 equals to nu. No, yes, the tau stress, or the shear stress. Shear stress here is equal to nu, the viscosity constant, by epsilon 2, or the second epsilon constant, as you can see right here for you, or the second epsilon strain for the fluid للمائع. الإجهاد الكلي يساوي الإجهاد الأول ويساوي الثاني ويساوي الثالث. Here stress equal to stress 1 and stress 2. The gross strain, or even the overall strain, representing by the acquisition of the resultant strains of the springs, or resultant springs from the springs and the dashpot. يعني الانفعال الإجمالية تمثل بحاصل الانفعالات الناتجة عن الحوض والنابض، عن النابض والحوض. Epsilon equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. Epsilon equal to reciprocal of the x here, reciprocal of the x by shear stress or by stress, plus reciprocal of the mu, as you can see right here for you. No, not the reciprocal. No, not the reciprocal. Here, as you can see, the epsilon here. حاشي x حاشي mu حاشي x حاشي stress حاشي stress والله العظيم. Mu epsilon equal to stress 1 to plus stress 2, as you can see right here for you at the equation number 2, or equation 2. Equation stress 1 by the equality, by equalization between stress 1 and stress 2. Epsilon equals to stress, as you can see right here for you. By combination, it will become, or the entire equation system will yield as follows. Will be yelled as follows. Acquisition هو استحصال أو حاصل. B. Creep in viscous flow. الزحف في الجريان اللزج أو الماء اللزج. With a constant stress, so epsilon equal to, as you can see right for me, sigma naught. The equation 3 will become as follows. The equation 3 will be in the form epsilon equal to, as you can see right here, epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is the nominal stress, or even the constant stress. Which represents, or the equation represents the increment, the strain increment constant rate progressively يعني بمرور الزمن أو with time. In maximal model, the strain at any time, or the strain in any time t after the impose or after the application of the constant stress sigma naught is given by the relevance or by the relation. The creep equations will be in the form تصبح بالنسبة للانفعال كما ترون epsilon naught بالنسبة للT, epsilon naught with respect to T, or even epsilon naught or epsilon the strain with respect to T. يعني الابسلون بالنسبة للزمن equals to sigma naught plus sigma naught 2T. Since the epsilon is actually sigma naught plus sigma naught, and the T is T, so the entire fractional system will be productly multiplied by T, by the time. Rate significance. G. الاسترخاء, the relaxation. Modulus of elasticity, or Young modulus with respect to time is as follows. يعني معامل المرونة بالنسبة للزمن هو كالتالي. E_T equals to sigma naught, as you can see right there, plus x mu is the curvitural coordinates, الإحداثيات الانحنائية. Curvitural coordinates x or the significance of curvitural coordinates in the Laplacian cylindrical, or even the Laplacian curvitural coordinate system, أو الإحداثيات الانحنائية في نظام لابلاسي. هنا تمثل الميو، أو تمثل كما ترون تمثل أمامكم x ميو. By the removal, yeah, there's actually a recovery for the time to retain. This creep, this relaxation, the creep phase and the relaxation phase. The relationship is actually between epsilon naught on vertical axis and vertical axis, or represented by the vertical axis significance, and the time represented in the horizontal axis, as you can see right here for you. The equation requirements is stipulated rightward, or are stipulated rightward. Kelvin-Vogt model. First, for strain and stress. Stress equal to x E naught, and stress 2 equal to nu E naught, epsilon naught, or E epsilon 1. In case of the entire applied forces balance, or in case of equilibrium, the entire applied forces balance, we can only notice that the applied load will be divided for both connection beams, or for both connection levers. The supreme will be the applied load. The applied load will be N, or the applied load, as you can see right here in front of you, will be within the both connection segments, or for the both connection beams, or even levers. The springs, the great springs here, plus the dashpot, or plus the basin. Sigma equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 2. They are the combination. This is a combination of the both stresses for the springs as well as the dashboard. Equation 3. The overall strain, or even the total strain, equals, or even the total strain for each case at a time. The total strains for each case at a time. يعني بكل حالة على حدة. Epsilon equal to epsilon 1 equal to epsilon 2. They are all equal in every direction. Sigma equal to x epsilon 1 plus nu epsilon 2. G. The creep in case of the Kelvin-Vogt, in case of dealing, or in case of dealing with the Kelvin-Vogt model. At the application of the constant stress, sigma naught, sigma naught will equal to x epsilon naught plus nu epsilon naught. The overall stress, or even total stress, will be equal to epsilon equal to sigma naught, as you can see right here for you, 1 to the exponential x by t. Exponentially will be exponentially here, as you can see right here for you, will be exponentially visualized. Relaxation time, D. The strains, or the time-dependent strains, is actually related by a logarithmic relevance with the time, or the strains that depends, or the time-dependent strain is actually related, both of them related logarithmically, or the strain is actually related logarithmically with time, because the free, or the loose, or better for stage, like the atomic mobility rate, dn, as you can see right here for you, from the localization, or from the spots or the locations that has a very extreme strain energy, the rate will be directly proportioned with the amount of atoms that actually the amount of atoms in motion. يعني يتناسب طرديا مع عدد الذرات. Lambda equal to lambda naught exponential minus, as you can see right in front of you. This is the relaxation time. The time dependent strains, or الانفعال المعتمد بالزمن، يرتبط بعلاقة لوغاريتمية مع الزمن. The time dependent strains is actually logarithmically relevant, or even logarithmically relevant to time, just because the atomic motion, or the atomic mobility rate, dn, from the location that has a very extreme strain energy, or the possess very extreme strain energy, with this range, the rate will be directly, or the rate is directly proportion, or even directly proportional to the atomic amount مع عدد الذري أو مع عدد الذرات بالمعادلة المعطاة on the given equation here, as you can see right here. Q, the activation energy, Q طاقة التنشيط, with the required energy to transfer, or even to Since the strain is time dependent, يعني بما أن الانفعال كما ترون, it will directly proportional to the atomic mobility or to the atom's mobility. We can yoke, and we will be able to yoke يعني ربط. We will be able to yoke the relationship between the strain right instead of n as follows. Given by the following equations as you can see right here in front of you. يعني معطات بالمعادلات التالية ترونها أمامكم. Epsilon equal to epsilon naught exponential t to lambda or t by lambda, and sigma equal to sigma naught or the epsilon naught or even the sigma naught exponential t by lambda, t by times lambda. For example here, empirical trial or empirical example يعني مثال تجريبي. In case if we have a crystalline materials viscosity of the polyisobutylenes in the amount of 10 to the power 35 poise. Poise is the viscosity unit. Poise هو درجة أو وحدة اللزوجة، وحدة قياس اللزوجة. Exactly in temperature of 217 centigrade, 217 centigrades, and 10 to the power 7 poise at or exactly in 30 centigrade. يعني في درجة حرارة 30 centigrade. Calculate the thermal degree or the thermal degree at which the viscosity will become 10 to the power 10 poise. يعني احسب الدرجة الحرارية التي عندها ستصبح اللزوجة 10 إلى القوة 10 poise. عندنا mu, and we have mu here as a viscosity, equal to 10 to the power 35 poise at in the temperature of 217 centigrade. And we have the viscosity is equal to 10 to the power 7. 10 to the power 7 at the temperature or even in the temperature of T equal to 30 centigrade. يعني عندنا هنا اللزوجة تساوي القيمة 10 أس إلى 7 10 إلى القوة 7 أو 10 أس 7 عند في درجة حرارة 30 سنتيغراد 30 درجة مئوية. إذا كانت اللزوجة 10 إلى القوة 10 in case of the viscosity of the crystalline materials such as polyisobutylene is 10 to the power 10, calculate the thermal degree here as you can see right here in front of you, or calculate the thermal degree centigrade at which the viscosity in poise will be in the amount or even will be estimated as 10 to the power 10. يعني احسب الدرجة الحرارية بالسنتيغريد التي تصبح عندها اللزوجة 10 إلى القوة 10. هنا سنعمل عملية interpolation. Here we're just going to have to do an interpolation or even we're just going to have to perform an interpolation process. يعني عملية استكمال رياضي أو استقراء رياضي، استيفاء رياضي. Here as you can see right here for you, n equal to n naught exponential y, as you can see right here for you, the equations and the solution procedure is listed as follows. You can see the equation or even you can see the equation as well as the equation used. يعني يمكنكم مشاهدة أو يمكنكم أن تروا المعادلة المستخدمة في طريقة الحل وكذلك أسلوب الحل. You can only regard or even you can only see the equations used for the solutions as well as the procedure of solutions listed or even highlighted as follows. يعني كما هو أمامكم، موضح أمامكم، highlighted as follows يعني موضح أمامكم. good. mu qr, as you can see right here, qt, as you can see right here for you. So the t will be resulted in the amount will be estimated in the amount 232 Kelvin. Extract the value of q and evaluate them in any of the equations for the favor of n naught or for the favor of a nu naught. لحساب a nu naught. To calculate nu naught. Good. Here, example 2, or empirical example 2. A slice of elastomer with a length 4 centimeters or with the length 3 centimeters receiving an stress applications of magnitude 1200 Newton, as you can see right here, 1200 Newton, or even 1200 megapascal, 1200 Pascal, and become in the form of the, as you can see right in front of you, lived 42 days. It was found that the elastomers display a stress resistance with a magnitude of 600 Newton or even 600 Pascal if the temporal degree or even the temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Calculate the relaxation time to the stress in the same previous solution or even the same previous conditions after 90 days with the same previous or with the same formal conditions after 90 days. 3. If the same test was conducted with a temperature 25 degrees centigrade and the stress exhibited by the elastomer is becoming 400 Pascal after 42 days. Calculate the stress after 90 days, exactly at the temperature of 50 centigrade if the initial stress or if the primary stress is 1000 Pascal or even 1 megapascal. 1 kilopascal. 1 kilopascal. The solution procedure is listed or even the solution procedure is highlighted as follows. يعني طريقة الحل وأسلوب الحل موضح بالمثال أو موضح بالخطوات التالية التي أمامكم. As you can see right here in front of you, very advantageous procedure for the equations or just for the empirical example resolution or for the empirical example solutions, optimal solutions, to extract the optimal solution for the empirical example stipulated. يعني خطوات حل مهمة جدا ومفيدة لاستخراج الحل الأمثل أو الحل الأحسن الأفضل للمثال التجريبي المعطى. Here, as you can see, a new article to deal with. هنا عندنا فقرة جديدة لنتعامل معها. The effect of channeling the molecular coordination or the molecules coordinations for the mechanical, as you can see right here for you, for polymer. يعني تأثير التوجيه، توجيه channeling، والتوجيه كذلك coordination أو تنسيق. Here, as you can see, the series they are coordinated as follows: coordinated leftward and the branched to H or even branched to the CH3, as well as the CH3 is here by opposition. Here H is by opposition is branched to H here, and CH3 by opposition is opposite to CH3, as you can see right here for you. CH3 here and the CH3 here, and the branched and H hydrogen is actually pretty much branched from the circular manifestative or the circular manifestative figure. يعني الشكل الدائري or visualizative or the visualized circular figure أو الشكل الدائري لتمثيل عمليات التفرع أو تمثيل عمليات التوجيه. As you can see right in front of you, energy is given by the equation or even given by the units kilojoule to mole or kilojoule by mole. Here, as you can see right in front of you. So the entire coordinations stipulated here will be graphically represented by using a special diagram or special sort diagram pretty much correlated, as you can see right here in front of you. يعني جميع التوجيهات الموجودة هنا سوف تتمثل في منحنى بياني أو graphical representation, graphical graph or a graphical representation يعني تمثيل بياني رسمي بالرسم كما ترون بعلاقة الطاقة وزاوية الدوران. زاوية الدوران هي زاوية التوجيه، توجيه المركبات وتوجيه الهيدروجين للمركبات. الهيدروجين هو اللي يوجه المركبات. So here the hydrogen will orientate, or even the hydrogen will be able to channel the compound as the CH3 here stipulate, or even indicated as the indicated CH3 as here right in front of you, كما مشار إلى CH3 هنا كما ترون. وكذلك طاقة التوجيه, here the channeling energy or even the coordination energy given by the kilojoule to mole, or even given by the kilojoule by mole. Theta is this, is as follows. Theta is as follows. Beginning at byte to 3, 2 byte to 3, byte to 3, 4 byte to 3, and 5 byte to 3. Byte to 3, as you can see right here in front of you. Theta is the rotation angle at which the channeling is actually directing to. يعني زاوية الدوران حيث يتوجه التوجيه, حيث يتوجه محور التوجيه. The rotation angle in which the channeling axis is actually heading to, or the rotation angle at which the channeling axis or even the coordination axis is actually straight going for, straightly going for. The orientation of the rotation angle is substantial effects on the potential difference or the potential energy according to the figure upward, and the transition from a case to another or a case to a further case is actually following a Boltzmann equation. Boltzmann equation states as follows: N2, as you can see right here in front of you, equal to 2 exponential delta E, as you can see right here. Right? This is the Boltzmann equations. K is, as you can see right here in front of you, delta E is the energy difference for molecules between the both levels, the initial case and the agitated case, or even the excited case. The delta E is as low as possible, so the molecules will be a resilience case, and vice versa. Delta E is as big as possible, or delta E is AMAB يعني مختصر ل as max as possible. يعني عندما تكون الفرق بين الطاقة كبير هائل, as max as possible, أكبر ما يمكن, when the delta E is AMAB, the polymer will be hardly stated, or the polymer will be in very hard, will be in very hard condition. يعني أصبح البوليمر ضمن الحالة الصليدة أو stiff. The polymer will become stiff, يعني سيصبح صلد or hard. In case of the coordinated or the channeled polymers, so the interference energy between the adjacent chains units will be added to each other all along the chain length, leads or result in their variable, or result in gaining a much bigger variable for them. And since the chemical bonds are assorted most of the times in single directions parallel to the major or parallel to the principal chain directions, it will require for a fracture process, or it require a fracturing the model towards a very tremendous chains, towards its very tremendous chains, and much bigger in case of the stress is perpendicularly applied. In order to gain a very stiff fibers, and it is necessarily to increasingly called upon the high adhesion energy or the high cohesion energy polymers, just because the molecules of the materials of the high adhesion or the high cohesion energy polymers will be densificately packed to each other, where the raw materials or the primary materials used in manufacturing of the strong or the strong fibers, as you can see, are polymers of the resilience chains or the polymers of elastic chains, such as the polypropylene, just because they are gaining, or even just because they possess a very extreme toughness when rolled and coordinated, when rolled and channeled. Pretty much opposite to the hard chains polymers that contains a dipole, as you can see right here. Pretty much opposite to the polymers, as you can see right here for you, such as this. يعني بعكس البوليمرات، يعني بوليمرات هنا بوليمرات ذات سلاسل مرنة طويلة. قاد والله هي يعني. And the manufactured channel polymers will result in or the channel polymer synthesized or even manufactured from a resilience or flexible polymers here will result in a very strong fibers, pretty much called as a steel-like fiber, with the strength and amount of 1200 megapascal, or stress resistance, or stress in the amount, or even with strength in the amount of 1200 megapascal, maximum stress it can get, or the maximum stress the polymers can reach. If we take in consideration, that the polymer density is 1 to 8 of the steel density, so the polymer strength for each unit weight will be much bigger for the same unit weight. Okay. Here is a new article or a new categorical class here in the polymeric realm, or even in the polymeric, or even trying to visualize the polymeric picturization about the various applications, or even adding more advanced and more sophisticated methods in order to produce very sophisticated and very progressive cases and products that can be actually very much advantages in practical life, or even very much advantages practically. The stereotacticity of the polymeric chain، يعني الانتظام الفراغي في السلسلة البوليمرية. There are many systems of the carbon distributions in the compounds of the principal chain, as well as in the principal chain. Isotactic يعني الانتظام الثابت. Syndiotactic وatactic. Syndiotactic and the atactic. Isotactic, or the isotactic reactions, is given as follows: hydrocarbonically, or the isotactic reaction hydrocarbonically is given as follows. يعني معطى بالتحليل أو بالتفاعل الميكانيكي الهيدروكربوني كالآتي: by the hydrocarbonic resolution. Isotactic, this is a very example for isotactic branched XXX from the entire chain, as well as here the syndiotactic, the alternated tacticity أو التراتبية المتناوبة. Syndiotactic يعني syndiotactic means the alternated tacticity. يعني syndiotic يعني التراتبية أو الانتظام المتناوب. هنا ترون X alternated by X, X here alternated by X, as you can see right. X here, X alternated by X, or replaced by X, as you can see right here for you. The atactic is the chiral tacticity, or the achiral tacticity, أو الانتظامية المتفرعة. Atactic is the achiral tacticity. There are only two systems in the carbon distributions in case of double bond: the cis system and the trans system. نظام المقترن والنظام المفروق. مفروق هو نظام السيس، والمقترن هو النظام الترانس. معروفة جدا، ومصطلحات معروفة جدا and very commonly known terminologies in case of dealing or in the realm of the organic chemistry. يعني مصطلحات معروفة جدا، ومصطلحات شائعة في مشهورة جدا في الكيمياء العضوية. This is the cis system أو نظام المفروق. This is the form of the cis system. هو نظام المفروق كما يبدو هنا. Who is this? This is the trans system. هنا كما يبدو نظام المقترن. أو نظام مفروض. هنا النظام المقترن. Here is the trans system as you can see right in front of you. In this system contains double bonds in the principal chains and the H atoms entirely unitarily sized or sided unitarily sized sided at the in the chain or at the chain entirely unitarily sided at the chain. يعني جميعها على جهة واحدة من السلسلة. One sided at the chain. In the trans system, the H or the hydrogen atoms is actually interchanging locations with respect to the plan at which the double bond lies. يعني تتبادل الموقع بالنسبة للمستوى الذي تقع فيه العناصر المزدوجة. Degree of polymerization. Determines the length of the polymeric chains, the amount of the repeated units at the chains, the repeated units, which pretty much represents the molecular weight. The polymerization degree is a function of the polymeric weight or the molecular weight of polymers and is computed by using the following equation. يعني تحسب باستخدام المعادلة التالية. دالة للوزن الجزيئي. درجة البوليمرات. يعني درجة الوزن الجزيئي. Degree of polymerizations is the molecular weight or the modified molecular weight RMM, the modified molecular weight RMM with the molecular weight of the repeated unit for the monomer. للمتقابل الأحادي. المونومر هو المتقابل الأحادي. Calculate. For example, calculate the molecular weight or the RMM for the polychloride final if you know that the degree of polymerization is 1000. CH2CHCl. 12 times 2 plus 1 times 3 plus 35.5 equals to 62.5. D equal to RMM to MW, M by W. The molecular weight of the repeated units. Or the molecular weight of the repeated units here. The molecular weight of the repeated units يعني الوزن الجزيئي للوحدات المتكررة على الوزن الجزيئي كما ترى. Molecular weight only. هنا molecular weight. So the molecular weight or even the molecular weight of the repeated units يعني الوزن الجزيئي للوحدات المتكررة in the numerator يعني في البسط molecular weight here as you can see right here. 1000 is equal to RMM. RMM equal to 62,500 mole. Nomenclature for nylon 66 polyhexamethylene adibamide. Nylon 106 is actually denoted as or even nomenclaturized as polyhexamethylene spacimide. And 106 and 66 the number of carbon atoms or even the amount of carbon atoms in the diamine and the acid at the same time. عدد ذرات الكربون في الأمين الثنائي والحامض في نفس الوقت. The polymeric or the polymers resources based nomenclature التسمية المبنية على في مصادر البوليمرات represents the simplest way of nomenclatures and the most commonly used, especially to nomenclaturize or even especially to denote for the denotations of the single monomer propelled polymers. The prepared polymers are actually called or even denoted according to the way by adding a poly segment or a poly segment before the name of the monomer prior to the polymer's name at which the polymer is consisting of. So the prepared polymers of ethylene will be propylene, styrene, butadiene will be called polyethylene, polypropylene. But in case of the monomers, names actually consist of more than two. Right? So we're just going to have to circularize the name of the monomer by two brackets. So the polyoxyethylenes will be written in English as follows. CH2, CH2O, and CH2, CH2N. As you can see right in front of you. Polymers can be denoted or even can be termed with respect to a very monomers that the polymer seems to be manufactured or even seems to be manufactured with. يعني قد يبدو أنه محضر إلا أن محضر في الحقيقة من مونومرات أخرى. But it's actually the polymers is actually prepared from a further monomers, such as the polyvinyl alcohol. Polyvinyl alcohol. Look like it's prepared by the vinyl alcohol, but it's actually prepared by the vinyl vinegars, or even by the phenyl, prepared by the vinyl acetate to form the polyvinyl acetate. Then a water or aquatic resolutions will be conducted or even will be imposed to the polymer to form the polyvinyl alcohol. Water dissolutions will be formed, will be introduced to the polymer to form or even to configure the polyvinyl alcohol. Structural unit composition or series structural unit composition based nomenclature. يعني التسمية المبنية على أساس تركيب الوحدة البنائية في السلسلة، أو التسمية المبنية وفق التركيب الوحدة البنائية في السلسلة. The series structural unit compositions accordingly nomenclature or according nomenclature, or even the series structural unit composition nomenclature. التسمية المتوافقة أو المسمات وفقا لتركيب الوحدة البنائية في السلسلة. The polymer can be denoted with respect to the structuralized unit or even the structural unit of the polymer chain composition. With the method here, we can nomenclaturize or even we can name or denote to the polymers derived from two monomers or even more. The nomenclature is actually can be carried out by putting the poly word or even by placing poly term بوضع كلمة poly قبل قوس يحوي على اسم الوحدة التركيبية, just prior to a bracket that contains the name or the denotations of the compositional unit of the polymers. So the polymers prepared from hexamethylene diamine or amine ثنائي hexamethylene as well as the spicic acids will be denoted with respect to the structural or even the composition of the unit, which is the composition unit amide has the same following composition as you can see right here for you. Named polymers, polyhexaethylene plasmide, and the polymer prepared from ethylene glycols and the terephthalic acids will be denoted with respect to the compositional unit of the resultant polymer, as ester has the same following composition with the hexagon ring in the middle. Good. So the entire polymer name or the entire polymer term will be as follows: polyterephthalate ethylene. IOPAC system nomenclature. تسميات النظام العالمي IOPAC. Regarding or due to the nomenclature's multiplicity used for polymers and for the increasing or from the overwhelming and due to the overwhelming amount of the synthetically prepared polymers, it becomes really necessary to find a general system of units to denote for the polymeric denotations as the same as we do for the organic materials, or as the same as the organic compounds. So the entire international polymer nomenclature global or the International Polymer Nomenclature Committee suggest in this way of nomenclature suggest to take care of the following. يعني يجب مراعاة التالي. First, assigning the configuration unit or the repeated configuration unit. تعيين وحدة التكوين المتكررة. As you can see right here in front of you, assigning the repeated formation unit. Each polymer can select a single type or even more of the repeated units, such as the polypropylene. You can select 2 types of the formational units as follows here: CH2, CH, branching CS3, CH, CH2, CH3, as you can see right here for you. Formational units. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. 2. The selection of the simplest repeated units and their contributions by nomenclature, and the formational units is irrelevant, or even the formational unit the repeated formational unit is pretty much relevant to the monomer at which the polymer is actually prepared from. The polyethylene will be denoted, or even the polyethylene will be called, as well as the polyoxide ethylene, according to this nomenclature of polyethylene and polyoxyethylene. As you can see right here for you, the equations denoted, or even the equations listed, or even stated as follows: CH2 polyethylene and OCH2CH2 polyoxyethylene. Polyoxyethylene by adding the atoms of oxygens here to the compound formula, or to the compound formulation. يعني بإضافة ذرة أكسجين إلى الصيغة الوضعية للمركب أصبحت polyoxyethylene. متكررة، ethylene متكرر مع إضافة ذرة أكسجين. Third article here. When to choose the formational repeated unit, add the selection of the formational repeated units of polymers containing the aromatic compounds as well as the ring compounds and the carbonic chains should be their assortment in repeated unit should be on the following manner. The aromatic compounds, then the ring compounds, then the open chain here will be varianted according to the preferability, or even according to the priority of the amount of with respect, or even in terms of amount of rings at the compound, as well as the size of the ring. And by increasing the carbon atoms amount, or by increasing the joint carbon atoms amounts between rings, or even by overwhelming interringular joint carbon atoms amount with much bigger amount of the hydrated carbon atoms. For example, يعني أفضلية تتباين بها من حيث عدد الحلقات في المركب وكبر حجم الحلقة وبازدياد عدد ذرات الكربون المشتركة بين الحلقات, and by increasing the amounts of the interringular joint carbon atoms amount with more or much bigger hydrated carbon atoms amount. For example, the poly 2,7-naphthalene, as you can see right in front of phenylene, as well as the 3-cyclohexene. Cyclohexene is the ring compound, as you can see right here in front of you. Poly 7,2-naphthalene, phenylene, as well as the cyclohexene, or the cyclohexylene. All of them are pentagonal rings, or even pentarings compounds, or better for today's be like pentaringular compounds, يعني مركبات ذو حلقات خماسية الرؤوس. Penta vertices rings compounds, as you can see right here in front of you. The preferability, or even the priority will be increased by increasing the number of the compensative groups, or even functional groups in the secondary units. In case of the formational unit consist of 2 types of secondary units in the form of open chains, so the preferability or even the priority will be in terms or even between the secondary units on the following manner. يعني النحو التالي كما ترون. Polyoxy dichloroethylene imidooxyethylene. Polyoxy here too. We have just because we have here 2 atoms of oxygen are represented, or even 2 atoms of oxygen bonded to the regular, or even bonded to the compound. regular compound, as you can see right here. So the preferity or even the priority will be increased by the accumulation or even by the overwhelming compositive groups in the secondary units. If the formational units is actually consist of two types of secondary units in the form of open chains, so the priority will be between the secondary chains in the following manner. Here, as you can see right here in front of you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Here, as you can see right here in front of you, the polyoxy كما ترون أمامكم. polyoxy أي هناك ذرتا أكسجين مرتبطة بالمجموعة الفعالة أو بالسلاسل المفتوحة كما ترون. Polyoxy means or EG or indicates that actually two atoms of oxygen were actually correlated or even bonded right into the open chain and the functional group, as you can see right here in front of you. Dichloro there's actually or indicates there's actually two atoms of chloride are bonded to the opening chain or even all bonded to the functional group, as you can see right here in front of you, right to the oxo from both sides, upward and leftward, as you can see right here in front of you. Cl and Cl, two chloro atoms, as you can see right here for you, indicated by the Latin prefix di, here, dichloroethylene. That means dichloroethylene here, as you can see right here in front of you, and the dichloro, or the two atoms of both atoms of chloride here, as you can see, bonded or attached extremely or attached serially right into the attached bondly to the open chain that actually contains or even consists of ethylene CH2, as you can see right here in front of you, to the opening chain, or even not consist, but for be like, or not even contains, but for be like the opening chain with the CH2 compound. CH2, which means the ethylene, indicates the ethylene here, as you can see. يعني إنه الكلور مرتبط ارتباطا وثيقا مع السلسلة المفتوحة مع ال CH2 أو مع الأثيلين CH2، ذرة هيدروجين وذرة كربون، هيدروكربون معروف، a compensative hydrocarbon. Imito-oxoethylene, imito-oxoethylene, as you can see right here for you. Imitio is this imitio here. Oxo indicates the oxygen here, bonded individually, or bonded individually to the functional group, as you can see right here in front of you. The functional group expressing or even indicating the CH2 presence. مرتبط بالمجموعة الفعالة CH2 كما ترون. ethylene اللي هو CH2 الذي هو CH2. ethylene indicates the CH2 presence, as you can see right, as a functional group at which the oxygen as well as the oxo atoms are bondly attached to. God. Molecular weight. Molecular weight determines the most of the polymer's features, and it's actually forces and molecular bonds dependent, that bonds between them or that can do or even perform intermolecular bonding in the series or in the chain. So the polymer possess a molecular weight of 1000 for each mole, possess a very much bigger toughness and strength particularities as compared with the polymer of 8000 mole or 8000 to mole, as you can see right here in front of you, or 8000 mole. Let's just take rubber for example here, and the polymers or the cross-linked polymers typically or generally possess high molecular weight as a result for the accumulation of the monomers concentrations in the principal chain. يعني الوزن الجزيئي تعريفه أو الوزن الجزيئي خصائص الوزن الجزيئي are the particularities here of the molecular weight or even the advantages or the capitalization of the molecular weight. Capitalization advantages يعني الفوائد وزن الجزيئي، فوائد الوزن الجزيئي، يعني كل ما زاد الوزن الجزيئي بالسلسلة more molecular weight or higher molecular weight at the chain, higher molecular weight of the chain, much bigger toughness and much bigger strength particularities or much bigger strength features and properties the chain will possess. يعني كل ما زاد الوزن الجزيئي بالسلسلة ستكتسب السلسلة قوة أكثر مقارنة مع البوليمر. كما تصلون هنا معظم الخصائص البوليمرية most of the polymeric particularities, and it is the molecular weight. The molecular weight is forces and molecular bonds dependent. Forces and molecular bonds independent. Forces and molecular bonds independent, which correlates or even bond between molecules in the chain or molecules at the chain. So the polymers that has a molecular weight, so البوليمر لذا البوليمر الذي يمتلك وزن جزيئي ألف لكل مول، ألف وزن جزيئي لكل مول يمتلك خصائص قوة ومتانة أكثر, will possess a strength and toughness much bigger as compared with the polymer of 8,000 mole or 8,000 mole بالمقارنة مع البوليمر 8000 يعني 8000 mole as well for example here. And the cross-linked polymers والبوليمرات المتشابكة بصورة عامة typically تكون بأوزان جزيئية هائلة will possess a very extremely massive molecular weights as a result for the accumulation of the monomers concentrations يعني نتيجة لزيادة تركيز المونومرات في السلسلة الرئيسية at the principal chain in the principal chain God. There are actually three methods to calculate the molecular weights of the polymers to determine the degree of polymerizations as well as the typical or the typical particularities. يعني هناك ثلاث طرق لحساب الوزن الجزيئي البوليمر لتحديد درجة البلمرة degree of polymerizations as well as وكذلك الخصائص العامة typical particularities and that are termed as the numerical equations or even the numerical averages as well as the weighted and the viscous average of the molecular weight. يعني يطلق عليها المعدلات العددية والوزنية واللزوجية للوزن الجزيئي. And they are denoted as the viscous as well as the weights or the weighted as well as the numerical averages of the molecular weight. The numerical average number molecular weight, and represents the overall weight for entire polymer molecules in total. In the model, with respect to the total number of the polymer moles, this will be written in the form of the following equation. As you can see right here in front of you. The molecular weight or the numerical average molecular weight will be equal to the total weight of the polymer molecules and the total amount of the polymer moles. Here mn dash is the number average molecular weight equals to the summation, the Latin prefix or even the Latin sign sigma nx mx or by the summation of mx, as you can see right here in front of you. Here is the يعني هنا as you can see right here in front of you يعني كما ترون أمامكم ال MN هو ال average number molecular weight أو الوزن الجزيئي العددي معدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي كما ترون المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي MN يرمز له أو مرموز symbolized as follows, symbolized as M dash sub n or M dash to the power n, as you can see here MN dash حسن والله equals to the summation or the summation Latin sign for summations or the combinations between the product of the total product or even the entire overall product between the numbers of molecules by the molecular weight. Numbers of molecules by the molecular weights here nx mx for the polymer. X is the polymer. Summation of nx to the total amount of the polymer moles. Total amount here as the total molecular weight or even total weight of the polymer's molecules and the total amount or by the total amount of the polymer moles. يعني العدد الكلي من مولات البوليمر. مولات البوليمر هي هو هنا الN في الM هو الوزن الكلي لجزيئات البوليمر. الM في الM مضاف له علامة السيجما للجمع. الM في الM ينتج الوزن الكلي. الوزن N في الM وزن، بينما ضربت أو أضيفت له علامة السيجما دلالة على الجمع سوف تكون أو ينتج الوزن الكلي فقط. Here the N by M or either the N times N represent the total weight or even represent the weight of the polymer molecules. With the addition of sigma prefix or even the addition of sigma Latin sign here, the entire amount or the entire quantity that we're actually dealing with will turn to a total or even the overall weight, as you can see right here for you. The used methods in calculations of the number average molecular weight. يعني الطرق المستخدمة في حساب المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي للبوليمر. Boiling point and the melting point dependent method. الطريقة المعتمدة على ارتفاع درجة الغليان ودرجة الانصهار كذلك. B. Gauging vapor pressure. قياس الضغط البخاري. Gauging osmosis pressure. قياس الضغط التنافذي أو الأزموزي. الضغط التنافذي أو الأزموزي. طرق empirical طبعا empirical methods empirical يعني طرق تجريبية لقياس الوزن الجزيئي أو لقياس النمبر average molecular weight الوزن الجزيئي العددي الوزن الجزيئي المعدل العددي للبوليمر. B represents as the following represents or even states as by usage methods in the calculations of the molecular weight 20,000 molecular weight for mole or 20,000 molecular weight mole. The method is actually vapor pressure dependent of the polymeric solutions as a function of the molecular weight. The gauge device is or the gauge apparatus consists for the gauge apparatus for vapor pressure consists of two heat sensitive balance. One of them is actually particulate or even especially exclusively special about the solvent, and the further is special about the polymeric solutions. Specialized by the solvent, or specialized to the solvent, and the further is specialized to the polymer solutions. Placed into an adiabatic space. Saturated with the solvent vapor. يعني موضوعتين في حيز معزول. adiabatic معزول أو stationary. مشبع ببخار المذيب. Saturated or even full with the solvent vapor. Pre-adjacent to each segment or على مقربة من كل جزء تمتد نهاية. An end is coming out or an end is actually popped بضخ المذيب to thrust the solvent or even to pump the solvent or the solvent or the solutions أو المحلول بشكل قطرات in the form of drops. When any drops placed or any drops of the solvent or the solution is placed on both balances regarding for the vapor variation or the vapor pressure of the solutions, molecules of the solvent or the molecules of the solvent will be densified or it will be densified from the media or even from the ambient surrounding of the saturated ambient surrounding result in the elevation of the solution part temperature, solution segment or even solution segment temperature. By measuring the difference or by gauging the difference of temperatures, by gauging the difference here, we can only calculate the molecular weight for the method of the vapor pressure gauge, as you can see right here in front of you. From measuring the difference or from gauging the difference, we can calculate the molecular weight. As you can see right here in front of you, delta T equals to RT m squared. Delta T, as you can see right here, equals to K. As you can see right here, this equation is actually an empirical equation or empirically extracted equation. Empirically extracted equation from the empirical trial or the empirical experiment conducted to measure or even conducted to gauge the molecular weight or the number average molecular weight by using the vapor pressure method or the vapor pressure gauge method. يعني هنا المعادلة الناتجة أو المعادلة لاستخلاص معادلة قياس الضغط البخاري أو قياس الوزن الجزيئي للضغط البخاري، طريقة الضغط البخاري المشبع الضغط البخاري المشبع لعينة بوليمرية كما ترون أمامكم. Mn is the number average molecular weight المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي. R, as you can see right in front of you, R is the ideal gas constant. Delta T, as you can see right here in front of you, K is a standard constant for the polymer or standard coefficient of the polymer. ثابت معيار البوليمر empirically calculated or empirically determined يعني يقاس أو يحدد تجريبيا. Delta H heat minus MC delta T minus MC, as you can see right here for heat is minus M. حاجة delta T حاجة temperature حاجة delta T حاجة temperature والله. G, a method to measure or even a gauge method by using the osmosis pressure الضغط التنافذي. The osmosis phenomena or the osmosis action is denoted as or is defined as the transfer of the solvent into the solutions by using a permeable membrane that permits for the solution or for the solvent molecules only to penetrate through or even to walk or to get through the membrane or to get through to get through the solution, to get through the solutions. And the osmosis pressure is considered the quantitative gauge or the quantitative scale for the passability or permeability of the solvent molecules simultaneously or even spontaneously to the solutions when the pressure in between or when the pressure is actually oscillated. So if the outer pressure or even the exterior pressure on both sides, AB and AC of the membrane is actually pretty much adjacent or even close, so the solvent will be penetrate from AC through AB, from AC right to AB, from the solvent to the solutions, and results in lifting the piston cylinder device, an increase in the liquid altitude or increase in the liquid elevations. The osmosis pressure or the membrane osmosis pressure of the solutions is represented by the following particular equation as follows. يعني يمثل الضغط الأزموزي الغشائي المحلول بالمعادلة الخاصة بذلك. By RT, as you can see right here. T is the temperature, R is the ideal gas constant, يعني ثابت الغاز المثالي. C by is the osmotic pressure. By is the osmosis pressure or osmotic pressure. Mn, as you can see right here, from you required to be computed by using the way of the osmotic pressure gauge method, or even by using the method of the osmotic pressure gauge. From the impermeable membranes used in this method, the foam membranes as well as the cellophane as well as the glass membranes are used in the methods of the osmosis pressure gauge method for calculating or even for computing the number average molecular weight. Types of used solvents are chloroform, benzene, as well as the CCl4, as well as the acetone. Here is the membrane. We have T, membrane. Here is the sheet AB of the membrane, or even the side AB of the membrane, on the left word of the membrane, as well as the right word of the membrane, as well as the side AC, the right word side, and the leftward side of the sheet. AC is the leftward side of the AC, represent the AC, represent the leftward side of the AC, or even leftward side of the membrane or the sheet they're actually dealing with, at which the permeability will be done right in, or permeability will be done right through, or permeability will take place right through. يعني ستحصل فيه التنافذية. Here the solvent, here is the solution. The solutions and the solvent here, as you can see right here. And the solvent will be passed, or even the solvent will be feeded right from the side. The solvent will be feed right from the side, as well as the solvent will be feed right from the side, as well as the solution will be feed right from the side, as you can see right in front of you. By permeability action, or by permeability action here, the membrane will be able to, or will permit and allow the solvent molecules to be dissolved within the solution, as you can see right here in front of you. The solvent molecules to walk through, or to walk, or even to go, to flow right into the solutions. يعني ليس تذوب وإنما جزيئات المذيب ليس تذوب وإنما تعبر خلال أو تعبر إلى المحلول. Will be able to be flew through to the solution, as you can see right here in front of you. Analytical examples. Calculate the number average molecular weight and the degree of polymerization for polystyrene, graphically represented as follows. يعني حسب المخطط أدنى، حسب المخطط أعلى هنا. As you can see right here in front of you, this is the N molecules as the n moles here, and here is the weight average molecular weight. Weight average molecular weight is given by 10 to the power 3. weight average molecular weight أو المعدل الوزني أو المعدل الوزني للوزن الجزيئي. المعدل الوزني للوزن الجزيئي أو المعدل العددي. المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي مضروب في 10 القوة 3. Here it's actually the number or even the number average molecular weight is actually timed or even productly multiplied or cross multiplied by the 10 to the power 3 mole. يعني مضروب بالقوة من 10 القوة 3 حسب المخطط المعطى. هنا نسبة here is the proportion or even the percentage of the the proportion here because the proportion here. The proportion of the number average molecular weight is actually at as max as possible or a map exactly at the 19 value of n. Exactly at the 19 value of n times 10 to the power 8 as you can see right here for you. يعني المعدل الوزني للجزيئات المعدل الوزني أو المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي أكثر ما يكون هنا عند نقطة 19.1. كذلك هنا عند نقطة 12.5 وكذلك هنا عند نقطة 17.8 as well as here at the point 12.5 because 12.5 as you can see right here in front of you will be mapped to the right to the vertical axis represented as y-axis representing the number of molecules representing the amount of molecules by 10 to the power 8. يعني النقطة 12.5 وكذلك النقطة 19.1 والنقطة 17.8 والنقطة 13.2 هنا يتم ربطها ربطها يعني will be mapped يعني ربطها يتم ربطها مع المحور الصادي أو المحور الرأسي كما ترون لاستخراج القيمة مقارنتها as well as to extract the value of n times 10 to the power 8 as well as to be yoked or statically correlated مرتبة أو مرتبطة إحصائيا مع ال MW أو مع ال MM to be statically correlated with the MN the number average molecular weight as you can see right here in front of you in the x-axis or at the x-axis. An example is given as you can see right here for you. The values are here, the extracted values as well as the extracted values from the y-axis as well as the extracted values given here represent the x-axis and the summations or the total weight or the overall weight of the polymer molecules. The overall weight of the polymer molecules productly multiplied or cross multiplied by 10 to the power 11. هنا يعني الوزن الجزيئي الوزن الكلي لجزيئات البوليمر n في m nx في mx الوزن الكلي لجزيئات البوليمر here nx by mx the total weight of the polymer molecules cross productly multiplied by 10 to the power 11 يعني مضروب نقطتين أو مضروب اتجاهيا في 10 أس 11 286.5 286.5 312.5 612.5 594 results in the combination of 1805 1805 is going to be like the total weight of the overall weight of the polymer chain molecules. هنا القيم المستخرجة من الجدول مجموع القيم هنا ومجموع القيم هنا Mn the number of average molecular weights and the D is the degree of polymerization. D degree of polymerization is actually pretty much can be computed by using the number average molecular weight as well as the weight average molecular weight. يعني درجة البوليمر يمكن أن تحسب باستخدام المعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي للبوليمر والمعدل الوزني للوزن الجزيئي للبوليمر. weight average molecular weight المعدل الجزيئي أو المعدل الوزني لجزيئات البوليمر والمعدل العددي للوزن الجزيئي للبوليمر. Here is a chain as given as follows: CH2, CH, C6H5. CH2CH equals to 8 times 12 plus 8 times 1. And C6H5, 96 plus 8. 96 plus 8 because the 8 here as given is or are the number of molecules as you can see right here for you. Equals to 104 molecular weight. 104 equals to 104. So the M will be 1805 by 10 to power 11, as you can see right here for you, equals to 28.83 by 10 to power minus 3, or 10 cubic, 10 to power 3. Degree of polymerization is Mn to Mw. Here, as you can see, Mn, Mw to Mn, Mw to Mn. As you can see right here from you, it results in 288 is the degree of polymerization for the polymeric chain given in the question, or even for the polymeric chain given in the example. Two. The weight average molecular weight, MW. The weight average molecular weight is actually practically calculated by slack method, or even by the centrifugal or centrifugational method. As you can see right in front of you. يعني بطريقة الطرد المركزية، بطريقة النبذات المركزية كما ترون. The method is actually considered very of big cost, or maximum cost in assigning the molecular weight of polymers. It requires using the methods is actually requiring using a very centrifugal required to use centrifugal centrifugants here, as you can see right in front of you, with special specs according to their superior revolution speed, or even according to their rotation superiorly. يعني حسب سرعة دورانها الفائقة. This method is actually in use of very much in use, or even in diagnosing يعني تشخيص the natural polymers, and the method is actually polymer molecules assortment dependent according to their molecular weights that pretty much affected with the gravistatic activity. We can calculate gravistatic activity يعني قوة جذب الأرض أو القوة الجذبوية أو النشاط الجذبوي. يمكن حساب المقدار للقوة. We can calculate the amount of the force, or even the amount quantity of force by using the relationship يعني باستخدام العلاقة التالية. F1, the force here, as you can see right here for you, equals to 4 to 3 by r cubic rho. Rho is the density of the solutions, as you can see, as indicated here. Minus يعني rho هي كثافة المحلول كما مؤشر هنا. Minus not minus here, positive here, plus 4 to 3 by r cubic rho naught. G by G. G is the gravitational acceleration. أي أو عجلة ثابت عجلة التسارع أو ثابت التعجيل الأرضي. Rho naught is the solvent. Rho naught is the solvent density, as well as rho is the solution density indicated before, or indicated formally. God واحد. God. G is the gravitational accelerations, and R is the atomic or the solution atomic radius. يعني نصف قطر ذرة المحلول. The force will be in equilibrium with the friction force or intermolecular friction force of the polymer and the friction force according to Stokes law. يعني القوة تكون في حال اتزان مع قوة الاحتكاك بين الجزيئات أو القوة الاحتكاك بين جزيئية. The force will be in equilibrium. The force will be in equilibrium with intermolecular friction force. يعني في حالة اتزان مع قوة الاحتكاك بين الجزيئية أو بين جزيئات البوليمر. And the friction force of Stokes law. يعني قوة الاحتكاك حسب قانون ستوك according to Stokes law, and the friction force according to Stokes law. Stokes law is as follows. يعني قانون ستوك F2 equals to 6 by nu RV. Nu is the viscosity coefficient. R is the solution atomic radius يعني نصف قطر ذرة المحلول. V is the rotation speed, or even rotation velocity. So or thus, consequently, the polymer particles will flow constantly to become or to yield. يعني عندما تسير دقائق البوليمر بسرعة ثابتة تصبح F1 تساوي F2. F1 تساوي F2 Stokes law, قانون ستوك. So 4 to 3 by r cubic rho 4 to 3 by r cubic rho naught G equals to 6 by nu RV, as you can see right in front of you. تساوي المعادلات. Equation equalization, or equations equality يعني تساوي المعادلات, or the equations equitation as you can see right in front of you, أو معادلة تساوي المعادلات. At the given circumstances يعني عند الظروف المعطاة يمكن حساب كتلة ونصف قطر الدقائق العالقة we can calculate the mass as well as the radius of the suspended object. But the case is pretty much different for the polymeric solutions. يعني تختلف لمحاليل البوليمرات، لأن جزيئات البوليمرات because the molecules or the polymers molecules will stick to the solutions. يعني بتأثير قوة الجذب by the effect of the gravistatic activity or by effect of the gravity بتأثير الجاذبية قوة الجذب، حيث أن القوة تكون نسبيا or where this force is actually where the force is relatively as compared to the repulsion force or even the not repulsion as well as compared to the attraction forces, interparticular attraction forces of the polymer. So a new separations or even new separation process or task will be conducted by the effect of centrifugal force with a high or extreme revolution velocity or extreme revolution speeds, and the polymeric or the polymer particulate or polymer particulate polymer object will be precipitated according to their color gradients or according to their molecular weight gradients. The precipitation speed will be as follows. يعني سرعة التركيد تعتمد أو سرعة التركيد تكون كالتالي. good. Angular revolution speed, angular revolution velocity، سرعة الدوران الزاوي. المسافة بين مركز الدوران والدقائق العالقة في الجدار. The interstitial distance between the revolution center and the suspension of the wall. F equals to m dash 1 v rho, as you can see, 1 v rho w squared x. F is the centrifugal force، القوة المركزية. M is the molecular weight. The term's significance or the term's significance يعني دلالات الرموز المعطاة في المعادلة. V is the particle size. Rho is the solution density. V is the object size. Object ليس particle. Object and not particles here. The object. particles. Omega is the angular rotation speed or angular rotation velocity. X is the distances or even the distance between the objects and the lining of the tube or the tube wall. يعني مسافة بين دقائق وبطانة الأنبوبة أو مسافة بين الأجسام وجدار الأنبوبة. Example: calculate the polypropylene weight average molecular weight, then the degree of polymerization if you knew that the molecular weight is increasing by 5 and the solution weight was increasing respectively. ووزن المحلول كان يزداد على التوالي أو يزداد بالتوالي يعني respectively 15 13 11.5 10 8 times 10 to power 3 أو في 10 إلى قوة 3 غرام. The given symbolizations or even the given digits or the given numerical values or يعني القيم المعطاة، القيمة العددية المعطاة كما ترون. أوميجا مضروبة في 10 أس 10، قيمة مضروبة في 10 أس 10 يعني أي كذلك 8 في 10 أس 10، 10 في 10 أس 10، 11 في فاصلة 5 في 10 أس 10 وكذلك 13 و15. ينتج الناتج الجمعي هو the summation product is 57.5 الحاصل الجمعي. The summation product is 57.5. MX molecular weight, mx by or times 10 to the power 3, as well as 7.5, 12.5, 17.5, 22.5, 27.5 results into summation product of 87.5. Here as you can see, so the numerical values will be listed or the numerical values will be plotted into graphical solutions in order to facilitate the resolution for the example. As you can see right here. يعني القيم العددية سوف يتم وضعها على جدول أو على مخطط بياني كذلك كما ترون. أوميجا times 10 to the power 10 gram. 20, 15. This is 10, 11.5, 13, 15 as you can see right here. القيم العددية للوزن الجزيئي الحل. MW. Sigma WX MX. Sigma WX, as you can see right in front of you. Here, as you can see, MW equals to dash equals to summation with WX MX, as you can see right here, equals to 1093.25 times 10 to the power 13. Equals to 18.97 pi or times 10 to the power 3 mole. D is the degree of polymerizations. MW for MW here for monomers. Here MW for the polymer entirely. For the polymer entirely. هنا ال MW يعني المعدل الوزني للوزن الجزيئي للبوليمر أو أي معدل وزني للجزء الجزيئي للبوليمر الكلي. هنا ال MW للمونومر فقط. الوحدة البنائية للبوليمر. The structural unit of polymer. للمتقابل الأحادي. المتقابل المونو. المتقابل كما ترى MW المتقابل فقط ليس الأحادي ولا المتقابل. MW here for the monomer equals to 18.79 by 10 to the power 3 equals to 0.45 by 10 to the power 3 equals to 450. Light scattering methods in calculating the